Hello everybody, it's Aiden or Dory Lego Studios. Welcome to episode 6 of Building Sorgan and Lego. It's kind of crazy that we're already here because it feels like I've only been working on this mock for a small amount of time. But anyways, in this video, we're not going to get a ton done necessarily, but at the same time we will. It's kind of confusing to explain. Basically, I'm going to map out exactly where I'm going to have everything going, as this will help me figure out what pieces I need to get, where I can start working on huts, like in the back corner areas of the mock, instead of having to build from like point A all the way over to point B on the other end of the mock. So that will definitely help out a lot. And we're also going to get probably the biggest Bricklink order yet. So the last one was kind of small. They're about the same price, but in the last one I got minifigures. This one's all parts for Sorgan. And then we're also going to go ahead and work on the huts a bit more. And there's a problem that I'm going to run into that I'm going to need your guys' help with. But anyways, let's go ahead and get into the video now. Alright guys, so to start off this week's segment, we have a Bricklink haul. Now this is a bigger order than the last one, I'm pretty sure, pieces wise. Because the last one I got like 8 Sorgan minifigures to accompany. And so let's go ahead and get into opening this, if I am actually intelligent. Alright, I finally have this open, so let's go ahead and take a closer look at some of the pieces. So right here we have all the wedge plates I got, which is probably the most important part of the order, as this is what I needed to start working on some more ponds and complete the ponds. So I believe this is 25 of each type of wedge plate. So there's 25 of the 3x6 dark tan for the left and the right each, and then there's 25 of the reddish brown left and right. I think this is only one of the left and right. I think the other one, yeah. And so here's the other half of it. So that's an extra 100 wedge plates that we could add towards the mock. And then I got just some more colorful pieces. So this is some olive green to add to the mock. There's some 1x2s here. I think I got like 100 of those or something. But just some 2x2s. I also have some 2x2s dark orange just for another mock I'm working on. And then here we also have some legs that I'm going to try to use for the Sorgan villagers. And then some bar pieces to use for the, I forgot what I call it, like the barricades that the villagers have. And then up here we have some more, just some colorful pieces for a spider box. We have some dark orange slopes, and plates, and tiles. And we also have actually 3 more of those wedge plates for brown, and then some of the dark tan slopes. I think I already have enough, but just in case. And now here we have some of the more expensive wedge plates. These are like 12 cents each, if they're only like a 2x2. So we got 10 of those in dark tan, 10 reddish brown, also some colorful pieces in the dark orange and the olive green slopes, and then some wheels. I have a ton of these now, so I'm gonna try to work those in somehow. Probably gonna be using those for like infrastructure, the hut. And here we have 96, or it's like 92, I think, of these 2x6s at dark browns. This would be for the underside of the pond. I'm going to tile it over with some clear tiles. And then lastly, but not least, we also have some 1x2s. So here we have a lot of olive green 1x2s, and then some dark orange 1x2s for a smaller mock I'm working on. So anyways, let's go ahead and get into building. Probably not going to do a time lapse because I just want a free build right now. Alright guys, it has been about 2 weeks since I have filmed like any part of this update. So if I repeat anything I've already talked about, I apologize. Anyways, I'm just going to talk about the part I've actually built, and then I actually decided to go ahead and lay out how I'm going to do the rest of the mock, because I was lacking of inspiration, and that just kind of worked for me for some reason. But anyways, I finished off these ponds on the other side. This one I'm going to go through and rip up probably again, as I ran out of clear tiles to put underneath the wedge plates over here. And I still need to get a wedge plate order to fill in all of that dark brown, and some smaller dark brown pieces fill in that gap right there, along with the gap right there that you can see. Anyways, yeah, this is what the ponds are going to look like. I'm actually really liking it now that I see it like fully closed off. It looks rectangular, but not like a perfect rectangle, like it looks like a rectangle you'd find in nature. And then this one doesn't follow necessarily the rectangular shape, as it seems like a normal rectangle here, but then this just kind of moves off in a direction, and I'm like, how that feels. Now this pond, I had the idea of it going off to the side, so it would look a little different from the rest of the border of all of this. So I'm going to go ahead and experiment with that once I get some more pieces, specifically these trans clear pieces, and probably some more dark brown pieces. Actually, no, I already have the dark brown. We're just going to let that happen. But anyways, that is all that I have done. Also, one more thing is I switched out all of the sand green for olive green, and it looks much better in my opinion. The sand green was kind of a placeholder already until I got more all green parts, as I still have quite a few left over here that I can use, but I'm still gonna have to get some more. And I really like it as an accent color on this MOC. I feel like it works really well with the reddish brown and the dark tan. But then anyways, I went ahead and extended out this foliage. I ran out of those olive green palm tree leaves and those bush pieces, so I didn't add that much more, so I'm gonna have to do an order for that along with the transclear tiles. But anyways, that's all I got done for actual building over there. So moving on throughout the entire MOC, I decided to go ahead and map out what I wanted this whole thing to look like. And that way I could start working on other areas instead of having to build from here all the way over to here. I could build in different parts of the MOC. So first off, I'm going to talk about how this is going to be transported. So these two base plates are actually going to break off right here. So I've already started actually building over onto that one. So that's going to break off like this. And then these two will break off over here. And then I'll have these two at the end break off. This is going to work the best so I can have all the ponds on this plate right here, and I don't have to, I can have them like overlapping, which I ended up not doing anyways, but I probably will over here. And then over here, it's that way I can have all the huts break off as one, or almost all the huts. But anyways, I'm going to start talking about the overall just like layout now that we've got all that established. So this red denotes where I'm going to have reddish brown patches done. So my idea was to have sort of like a trail running through. That was going to be like the trail into the village, and then there would be like a different colored section that almost looked like it had been dug up, where I'm going to have all the huts. And originally I was going to do dark brown, I mean not dark brown, dark tan, but I decided that dark tan on dark tan with the huts would not look nearly as good. And also if you look over here, the dark tan looks more like it's the normal ground color, and that the reddish brown is like dirt thrown on, it's like splotches. So I was thinking that that would work better, especially if I have this lower than the dark tan, so it looks like it's been dug up. And then of course I'll just have some like reddish brown like splotches like here and here, but the basic color will be dark tan for the path. And I'm going to transition into that over here, and it'll look just like it does over here, up over here, as this is just like muddy area that they've been farming. But then here's like the more like civilized part. So there's going to be dark reddish brown, I mean not reddish brown right here, reddish brown over there, and over there. So it's where the red plates all are enclosing. And then basically each of these cups represents a hut, and then that's the actual hut I have built so far. So in total I've decided I'm going to do 4 of these types of huts. So I'm going to get a lot more of these. I'm forgetting the piece name, you can yell at me in the comments. But over here is interesting because I was watching through the episode again, and I realized that there's a different type of hut. I think it's actually a barn that they referenced earlier on in the episode, but it's rectangular and it just has a roof, so it's more like a normal house. I'm like, hey, it's like 10 times easier than doing just a hut like this. So I'm going to go ahead and build that. I'll flash a picture of it up on the screen if I still can find it on my laptop. But anyways, let's go ahead and move on to the actual battle scene. So this will be split in half. This will be like the civilized area and the battle scene. So over here I've denoted where I'm going to have the rest of the foliage laid out. So this is going to be like the big area of foliage, as these are just tinier paths. But then that entire corner over there, so like half its basically is going to be foliage, as that would just make me be able to push the raiders more this way and not have to fill all that area over there. And I think it just looks best. And then over here, all these oars and brooms are going to be where the barricades for the villagers and the Sorgan villagers and the Mandalorian are going to be. I still need to figure out what I'm going to do for those because I'm not entirely sure I'm going to make it. I was thinking about this actually as laying it down, that I could put clip pieces on these oars and these brooms and attach just lots of brown pieces, as I have this cup from the past order of just random brown pieces. There's like barrels and some brooms and paddles in there that I could use. But so I'm going to have 5 separate ones. So there's going to be this big one up at the front with a small gap in the opening. There's going to be 3 smaller ones behind this one. I might extend all the way around. That way it's just going all the way around that hut. And this one will be slightly behind this pond. This one will be back in the middle. So anyways, that's basically it for the layout. Now anyways, you might have seen this, but this is a haul I got from Bricks and Minifigs. So I'm not going to open this one up, as it's just basically just a ton of reddish brown plates and some light flesh, or as Lego's reclassified on Bricklink, it's like nougat or something. But that was for a mock I did earlier. It was my order 66 on Radix Mock, so be sure to check that out. But anyways, yeah, I'm just gonna show you the haul, but I'm not gonna like open it and show you everything that's in there. Just told you what's in there. So I'm basically just gonna work some more on getting the basic colors laid out. Of course, this will be way more detailed. I'm gonna get more tiles and other stuff. So I'm basically gonna try to, in this episode, finish off getting all of the reddish brown laid out that I have and all the dark tan laid out that I have. That way I can see how much I need, and I can start working on things like the hut, the barricades, work on the ponds over there, foliage. So basically just get all of the basic groundwork done and then build up from the ground. Alright guys, so after about 3 hours of building I have all of this laid out. But there is one problem that I ran into that I did not think I would already. So I put down all of these reddish brown plates over here, as long as all the ones over there. And I'll go ahead and show you my current reddish brown plates collection, which is very small, especially considering that I'm gonna have to cover all of that area that you see inside of the red plates and all of that area inside of those red plates. And I'll have it like sprinkled about all over in this area over here. So that's gonna be a bit of an issue, and I'm gonna have to order plates sooner than I thought. And even worse, this is all the dark tan plates I have over here. And then if we go ahead and look over here, I don't exactly have a lot of dark tan plates left. So I was gonna make an order next for some of the tiles to finish out the ponds, but I think that my next order is gonna have to be a ton of just plates to use. And the crazy thing is this is just like the ground level, because I'm gonna be doing like 1x2s, 1x1s, cheese slopes, tiles, like just tiling it, or just texturing it everywhere, like 1x2 curved slopes, sort of like I have it over here. So I had to do that all throughout here, except for obviously where the huts are. So that's the first problem that I ran into. The second one is, as I was working on this hut, I finally got it, all the clips on all around, and I'm really liking the shaping of this thing actually. Like, I didn't think it would look this good. I feel like it's looking pretty good, and having those slopes at the top really is bringing out the hut design in my opinion, or like making it look like the hut. But the problem I ran into is I have no idea how to do this roof in all honesty. So I tried putting some of these on, like up here, and like attaching them up here and going around. Problem is, they started interfering with each other, and that's just not gonna work. I know how to, I'm gonna do the spire at the top of the huts, but I have no idea how I'm gonna do the general roof. So this is the part where I need your guys' help. So comment down below if you have any techniques that you have, or send me like studio or stud.io links in my Instagram, or like explain concepts to me, because I just have no idea how I'm gonna do the roof to the huts. I'll probably figure it out. But anyways, that is basically it for all the building. Just as a recap, we got some stuff filled in over here. We got the general outline, and I know that this may not look like much, but it's gonna help so much, because now I know that I'm running low on plates earlier than I probably would have if I would have just built like from here all the way over to here. And then I can start working on huts and lining huts around here. I can start figuring out where the fences are gonna be, and now I know how much foliage I'm gonna need. So it's gonna help a lot actually. So we got a lot done in that way. But anyways, let's go ahead and end out the video. Alright guys, so that is it for episode 6 of Building Sorgan. I hope you guys enjoyed. This was a bit of a longer episode, and I talked more than I usually did. And I also apologize for not having a time lapse. I just felt like I just needed to build and not have to worry about like, oh, is the time lapse recording or is the camera still running, and having to edit all that together. So I figured I'd just build off the side and show you guys progress, like at certain points as I just stopped and recorded throughout the process of these last two or 3 weeks, which by the way, I'm sorry that I haven't posted this episode sooner. I got injured and I had to do some rehab from that, and that took a lot of my time. And I also had to edit that Lego Masters Extreme video, which is a super fun video. Definitely recommend you guys go watch it. However, it is 37 minutes long, and it was 2.5 hours of footage that I had to edit down to 37 minutes. And I also had to work on my application for the Dark Times RPG storyline, which I posted yesterday. This video comes out on Saturday like it's supposed to. So definitely go check that out. In my opinion, it's my best mini mock yet. I'm very proud of it, and the video editing is pretty good in my opinion, at least in the beginning. The mic was not working at the end for some reason. But anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe if you're not already. And I'll see you next video. Adios. Hello everybody, it's Aiden or Dory Lego Studios, and welcome to episode 5 of Building Sorgan and Lego. It's kind of crazy that we're already on episode 5. Actually, I think we're on episode 6. Jeez, we're on episode 6.